Hundreds of Oakland businesses are shutting down Tuesday in protest. This is one of the craziest things I've ever read because rarely do you have businesses willing to close down. Okay, especially on like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, these types of days. They do get like a decent amount of business. And we're not talking about like one or two businesses coming out. We're talking about hundreds of Oakland businesses. We all have said things like, the Bay Area is doing things really poorly, but this is the first time when a lot of businesses are fed up, right? You already have hundreds of businesses leaving without a protest. But these guys, they want their businesses to stay. A lot of these guys already spend hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in their businesses. And small business owners, they don't really have anywhere to go, right? They're not like Target or Whole Foods where they could just close down, move somewhere else. Small business owners are small business owners. They only have one or two businesses maximum, and they want to make some money. So what's happening in Oakland is you got over 200 Oakland businesses planning to participate in a strike on September 26th to demand support from city officials in rising crime. They've done it. So far, flyers are being distributed out. They're pretty much saying that it's a do or die situation. Now, Oakland hasn't really fully responded back about the situation, but this is like a pretty big deal, right? This already garners a lot of attention in the Bay Area because even everyday people who go to a lot of these stores, they suddenly see them closed because of the protests. And that actually like adds in more and more awareness. So most of these businesses are just fed up with the city because of mostly one thing. You have way too much crime, right? There's barely any cops on the streets, and the whole defund the police situation really just made the lawlessness go up. Oakland has always been kind of iffy when it comes to like crime and also safety, but now people are saying that it's so bad. People are saying that this is like a war zone. And if you go to like some of the touristy sites, you don't really see much tourists anymore because a lot of these people, start figuring out, oh crap, the Bay Area isn't really a safe place to be. And you also have an owner of a supermarket says they're planning to close their grocery store just to show the politicians what's happening. Crime is out of control. Everyone has to step up. They have to hear the voices. Laws have to change. And here's the thing. San Francisco already got a bunch of businesses leaving, and they even pressured the central government to do something. Nothing's ever been done. And I highly doubt this insane protest by Oakland businesses is doing anything to the Oakland laws and crime. And like I said before, the Bay Area is just so weird, right? The Bay Area just puts a bunch of bandages on problems instead of solving the core issue. It's really not that hard of an issue to solve, but none of them want to address the issue. I don't know. Is it the fear of being canceled? I don't really get it. I feel like you just can't have super lax laws to the point that people could just rob businesses and get away with it, right? You've seen stories of people robbing like 20 different small businesses until they finally got caught. And when they get caught, they get let out right away. Like you have open air drug markets everywhere, homeless encampments. And this is a very wealthy city as well, right? Oakland isn't broke. They have still a lot of tech. Pfizer is also here, surprisingly. And also these small businesses generate a lot of tax revenue. And check this out, Oakland business owner in Little Saigon says working there is like war times. This is pretty bad, and Little Saigon has been robbed several times. And this is a pretty hot tourist destination. It's around this area, right? This is Little Saigon from around like the lake area all the way down to maybe like 19th Avenue, 21st Avenue, right? You got a lot of Vietnamese and also other Asian restaurants and supermarkets. They're saying that there's already been mass burglaries. You're also seeing old people getting robbed in their homes as well. And this is also pretty crazy, right? Oakland Police Department at risk of losing state funds for slow 911 response times. We're already seeing that Oakland is only meeting 911 call requirements 46% of the time. With Oakland, even one time, they're like, oh crap, I guess we got to shut down the 911 system for 24 hours because it's not really working that well. That's insane, right? And a lot of these business owners are just no longer even calling the law enforcement because the law enforcement isn't going to do anything. They just straight up call their insurance company and be like, hey man, this and this got stolen, this got broken in, we need some help. I mean, this is just like a place for criminals at this point, right? Everyone could just get away with crime, and people who are just trying to make a honest living, opening a business, for example, they just can't get a break, right? We're seeing businesses that are like getting robbed 3 times in 1 year. That is a very high amount. And we're seeing this everywhere. You got all sorts of different crime every single day, constant phone calls being bombarded to the 911 department. And they take a massive record of these calls, right? Many of these incidences do not go answered at all. The police department can't do anything. First of all, they're super understaffed, right? And second of all, you're also seeing the 911 system already like broken down, which is a wild thing to see. Multiple Oakland retailers hit by thieves Friday morning, and controversy over lost crime fighting funds. We're seeing a lot of small business owners are pretty unhappy about this situation. We're seeing a lot of tourism just going downhill, and Oakland is no longer a place for innovation or tech, right? It's still pretty bad in the old days, but now it's just so bad. People put this as wartime, war zone. This Afghanistan guy in San Francisco who owns like a smoke shop straight up said it was worse than Afghanistan, because even Afghanistan has like consequences for robberies, like $100,000. So he's pretty much like flabbergasted. He's like, no way, I come to San Francisco and this is what happens. Nobody cares when $100,000 of merchandise gets stolen. I mean, this is wild. We're also seeing like the amount of Chinese tourism in San Francisco all-time low. Okay, San Francisco has the original Chinatown. They do have a lot of clout. And if you go to the Chinese blogging sites and hear what the Chinese tourists are saying, they actually put San Francisco on the bottom of their list. They're still going to like Los Angeles and New York City, for example, but they're definitely not going to San Francisco. This is by far one of the scariest places to be. And plus, most of the stores are already closed, like Westfield Mall, and it's just really sad. And we're seeing this situation happening in a lot of the super left-leaning cities. Target is closing 9 stores across New York City, Seattle, San Francisco, Portland. Because of theft and organized retail crime, we're seeing this becoming just pure profit. This is no longer somebody who's hungry and needs food. This is just straight up profit. You're going to be seeing a lot of these items being sold on Amazon, right? And look at this. Target closing 9 U.S. stores. Crazy. I mean, you're like, oh, can we just like put some glass in front of like the merchandise? Not happening, right? You just see people not even wearing a ski mask, just go in, take whatever they want, they walk out like it's like their own store. This is absolutely wild here, right? This is San Francisco for you, and they're not going to be caught at all. And security's not going to do anything either. There's even law saying that security can't do anything. They just walk home to their car. This is wild. You would not see stuff like this in other cities. Now, if you go to Florida or Texas or Nevada and try to do this crap, you're not making out of that store at all. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these stores are just fed up. CVS's are closing down, and just let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. I think just so many people are just sick of it. It's the first time where business owners actually stood up against like the Bay Area. The Bay Area has always been kind of lousy when it comes to a lot of these situations, but now I think people are just so fed up. I love the Bay Area. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to like the Silicon Valley area. It's a fantastic place, great weather, but if they don't solve like the crime issues and stuff like that, this is probably not the place I want to go.